Welcome to today's Sunday art stream. We're going to do these beautiful roses today. This is called The Sympathy, and it is in this book, Ultimate Rose. I used this book the other day. It's awesome. It's put out by the American Rose Society, and I think it's probably out of print. It's super old, but look at these beautiful pictures. So I just thought this would be beautiful with some writing above it and around it. And obviously, like always, I'm using it as sort of a loose reference. I don't do super representational. So yeah, and I also like to use other art for reference. So I'm gonna start by first I'm gonna put my book up so I can see it. And does that affect your light? Let me see. Okay. I am gonna start out with a Neocolor and just start doing some of these roses. So I like to use Neocolor 2 mostly, and that's what I think that's what this is. I actually mix them up in my bucket. I used to keep them separate, but I have so few Neocolor ones that I'm just kind of like, why bother? Um, there's only a few Neocolor ones that I actually like go and buy on purpose. And that's, ones that I would use for wax resist or drawing. So like a black or a white. So, and then the rest of them, I don't actually know how I acquired a few. I don't even know if I had a kit set of Neocolor ones ever. I mean, I have had Neocolor 2 sets, but I have a Blick near me, so I can just buy them one at a time, open stock. And I know I bought some ones like at some point, and I still have the remnants of those because these things do last forever. So that is one thing that is really awesome because they are not inexpensive to buy, but they do last a really long time. So that's good. For those who have just joined, I will show you what we're drawing from today. We're drawing these roses. These are called Sympathy, which is such a pretty name for a rose. And the book I'm using to draw from is called Ultimate Rose from the American Rose Society. Yeah. So I'm going to use as few colors of my Neocolors today as possible. And I'm going to go in with my brush pen and we're going to do lettering and it's going to be so awesome. I'm going to do some, I just picked out some colors over here last night, but I'm going to try and use a really minimal variety of these colors just because I want to see how few I can get away with. And I also think using minimal color is sometimes so much prettier than using more color. Like just using a few colors and seeing what you can get away with, I think, yeah, I'm gonna start doing some leaves here. I like the fact that the leaves in this picture are pretty easy for me to see the anatomy of them and how the little veins in them go. So really like that. Even though the leaves are kind of blurry in the picture. And I also have a little bit of water. So I think I'm gonna Hey. Oh my gosh, hi. I don't know who you are, but hi, Nine Sudfa. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. So I've been live streaming like every morning, and it's good. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm growing my channel, so I feel like live streaming is one thing that I can do to sort of goose my channel, because I love making video, but my point of I mean, isn't everybody's usually it's editing, editing, editing. So it's tough. Editing's hard. But if I come here prepared and I just do a live stream, and it's so much more fun anyway because I get to see people. That's like the thing to do. That's what I'm doing now anyway. So it's very enjoyable, I must say. I'm gonna use a little water, just a real light bit of water, not a lot, because I'm not breaking out a hairdryer and I still have to do my brush pen. This has been kind of cool to start out with the Neocolor as my sketch today because I was using ooh, 6 p.m. Where are you? You're in the United Arab Emirates. Okay, cool. Yeah, my nephew lives in Abu Dhabi actually. So small world, but big world, right? Oops, I'm using a lot of water and I said I wasn't gonna. I'm gonna dab some of this off just because I do need to go into this with my brush pen at some point. So I'm gonna use my finger a little bit because I want to get some like romantic watery smudgies, These crayons are so fun to use, but they're very pigmented, but they have sort of a variable. It sort of varies on how how much they or how little they wash away when you start throwing water on them. So uh, it's kind of a little bit of a crapshoot. This is they're water soluble pastels. Yeah, they're by Caran, the company, and they're called Neocolor. And there's two varieties. There's Neocolor one. Oh, these are really fun to draw over once. Sidebar. when you get wet paper, they're fun to draw on. They are water soluble. They have Neocolor ones are not water soluble. They're like a really nice wax crayon. And the twos, which I have mostly Neocolor twos, are water soluble. Neocolor two. They're like, I think there is some wax in them. I'm not sure of the exactly what they put in them. I do believe that they do market them as water soluble wax pastels, if I am not mistaken. So, yeah, some sort of water soluble situation, which is great. Um, they're so they're so fun, and it's funny because when I first got them, I first started using them probably like 10 years ago, and I was critical. I guess I just hadn't found my way. Sometimes it takes you years to. You can use the twos with water. The ones are not water soluble. They are like a regular type of like once you put it down the line, it's not going anywhere, which has its own, you know, benefits for sure because you can use it in wax resist or you can use it like on top of other things. So if you do like a watercolor wash, then you can use the Neocolor one. Sorry about if I just messed up my mic on you. You can use the Neocolor one over it. There's some artist on YouTube, and I forgot who they are because I just started following them, but I loved their video, and I'm so embarrassed that I can't remember their name right now, but they did a video and with Neocolor too, and I loved how she was using it. It was beautiful. She used it all layers. It was great. During experience, you know a lot of techniques. I think you do learn techniques with them because these are really flexible to just use with, you can use them with a lot of different media, which is awesome. And if I ever remember, and I'm sure I will, of course, when I get off the stream, who that was, the artist, it was just a great video. And she did watercolor and marker and all these things with it, and it was great. So I like to try, and what I have been doing is leaving my page white for highlights. So I picked out a few of my Neocolors that were reddish pink and pink for highlights because the flower that I'm drawing over here is a bright reddish pink. So I'm trying to use minimal, just testing myself here. I'm trying to use some minimal colors to draw these. For portraits, I mean, you could use, well, if you want, Prismacolor pencils are my favorite personally. Prismacolor is my favorite pencil. Sometimes they come in those kits where it's all colors designated for a certain purpose, and they have those portrait kits, and I think those are really smart. And actually, Caran, the company that makes these, just came out with, they have a set. They have a portrait set of these too, which looks beautiful. I mean, I'm not a big portrait drawer all the time, like I don't do it regularly or anything, but the set is gorgeous. What is her name? Oh my gosh, I don't remember her name. But if you look up Neocolor 2, if you look up Neocolor 2 on YouTube and Neocolor review, her review might come up. She did a review. They came out with a whole bunch of sets, like limited edition little sets of 10 crayons each, and the colors are curated and they're gorgeous. And I'm not buying any of them because I love when they do limited edition colors, but there's only 3 limited edition colors per kit of 10, and I've got a lot of Neocolors already. I have tons of them. Like I don't need any more. It's irresponsible for me to buy any more unless they're, colors that I don't already have. So I'm not buying them as much as I want to. I bought one, oh, it's, if you find them online, they're online somewhere. Look for their newest, they have this, I don't know how new they are anymore, but they have this set of, this limited edition. There's like, I think there's 4 in the set. I mean, I think there's 4 different versions of the set. They're sets of 10, and they're curated palettes, and they came out recently. They came out recently, like not super recently, but recently, maybe like within the last year. And they have gorgeous colors in them, and I'm not buying them. But you should buy them if you want them, because the palette one, the portrait one, is beautiful. I mean, I think they're all beautiful, and I would love to have them all, but I have enough Neocolors. If they come out with open stock that I can buy one at a time, that I would do. Okay, so for the depth, for the shadows and the roses, I picked this color out to use, but I'm thinking I might use this dark blue, but actually, instead of all that, let's throw that let's throw that to the one. Let's break out the brush pen instead. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't start doing my lettering. I can do that after. Let me try a little bit here first. Just trying to go easy at first. Oh, that's okay. I'm happy to hey, that's what a live's all about. It's about talking, so and chatting with you. So yeah, I'm fine. That is totally fine. Mm. So the centers have dark, and then we have I'm just gonna trust the process because I'm going with it. I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit. I will keep my eye on the chat, but I'm gonna just draw for a little bit to see if I can get a handle on this. I'm gonna use the other brush because the other one is a little bit cleaner. Thank you. I know, right? Well, I usually do the ink first. Um, I usually do the ink first and then I do color, but I started with the color today, so that would be fun. And I love watercolor and I love water media, but I have to say, I totally understand why watercolorists don't do live streams that much because it just takes so long to dry, and then you have to break out a hair dryer, which I'm fine with, but then it's too loud. So so yeah, I went to Hawaii a few years ago, and I brought way too many art supplies because I have a problem when I go away. I always bring way too many art supplies, so of course, going on a dream trip to Hawaii, you're gonna, like, do the mother load, right? You're gonna bring way, way too many art supplies, which I did, and I, I'm out on the beach, I got my watercolors, and guess what? Stuff didn't dry. It just was not happening. I was just getting annoyed. Imagine being, like, in, paradise and getting frustrated because your art isn't drying. It was me. That is exactly what happened. Luckily, I had a lot of other art supplies, so I used those instead. It's funny about the ruining comment because it's like when you get to those moments in your drawing, you just gotta like trust the process and trust when you're focusing on your art. Like that's why I was like, all right, I gotta be quiet now for a minute because I just gotta focus on this. When you're in the focus zone, that's like a good place to be. And that's when your intuition will sort of guide you in your work, you know. So um yeah, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying this. I'm gonna end it in an hour. So we're on 24:59 right now. Totally timing myself on this. Um, gonna finish it. I'm gonna be done in an hour. So from we have like 40 minutes, 35 minutes left. That's the plan. I don't want to go over an hour. Thank you. You can do it too. You can do it too. This live stream is going to be on my channel, the replay, and you can use it anytime and draw along with me. Grab a picture from somewhere, Unsplash has some, or wherever, with a book you like. You know what? Let's do a little like. I'm going to black a little more. I'm going to do lettering around the rose, around this little bunch. All right, let's do some lettering. Let's do some lettering. I'm going to just lightly take my pencil and start with, I'm going to move these over here. I'm a lefty. This is lefty problems. Lefty problems. Whoa, thank you. I've never gotten one of those before, and I don't really know what it is, but thank you very much. Fragrance. Whoops. Oh my God. I need an eraser. That's okay. Deep red. Thank you. 9 Sudfa. Deep red fragrance. Fragrant flowers. I'm going to ignore that I need an eraser here because that you're not even going to notice that later. Just wait and see. Deep red fragrant flowers on vigorous plants. Hold on. Move this here like that. So we want to, I'm going to go like that. And that's where my little letter on is going to be. On vigorous. Vigorous plants that can grow to 12 feet. That I want to make sure you guys can see this. Yes, that can grow. GROW to 12 feet. Okay. Okay. So do you see how I really bottom loaded this with a lot of text? I need to like pump up this top now. So I'm going to just do some, I'm going to make these a little bigger, a little bigger. This is the name of the rose, Sympathy. I'm just going to make it so the words are a little bigger, and I'm going to add some embellishment around them to balance out the composition. Because if you look at it right now, you know, it's looking a little, it looks a little bottom heavy. It's a 9 by 12 drawing, so it could be a greeting card someday, but it's not right now. I'm going to go in with a light Neocolor drawing first, just to flesh out these letters. And I'm going to try and go for like a gradient style effect. Let me move that down. So we're going to go. So it's really easy to make a gradient. All you have to do is pick colors that, you know, a dark cool, a medium cool, and then you could even, this isn't necessarily cool. This is kind of like a, it's not a warm either. It's kind of like a neutral, but a neutral, obviously bright yellow, but all you got to do, right? It's all in the pressure. So I'm just, you know, deciding how light pressure to put on my crayons. And then you just kind of trade off, and you will see we're going to make a gradient out of these letters, and it's going to be really pretty. Hey, guess what I just saw to my right? It's on my brush pen. My, not my brush pen, my water pen, which is actually, it's really going to come in handy in a minute because I'm going to use it over here. But yeah, see, like, check this out. Check this out. Look at, we're already coming together. We're already feeling the gradient vibes right here at the top. Our lettering. Let's do a time check. 34 minutes. Okay. Because I respect your time, and, you know, I don't want my internet to drop off. Shading. This is, I'm just trying to block the letters in right now. Color in a gradient style. And see if we can get, oh, I got a little red. Got a little red there. So I'm not hung up on that, because if you get hung up on stuff when you're doing art, like, forget it. Just like, just, you know, don't get it. Make it part of your piece. That's all. Make it part of your piece. So look, I had a little smudge of red there. Here's, I had like, my pen went a little darker there than I wanted. So what did I do? I balance it out there. So yeah, you just sort of make it work. It's like a constant conversation with yourself. That's how I like to describe it. So we have a sort of a gradient like look, and I love this Neocolor. It's like really densely pigmented. The color is called, some of these darker blues are really incredible. Let me see if I can find what it's called. It's hard for me to read this with all these lights flashing in my face. I can't find it. I think what I'll do when this is over and done with, and I'm filling out my description on it and just making things better for you guys so people can find what they need. I will put the names of the Neocolors that I used in this because I'm trying to just use a few so it's easy, you know. That way, if you ever wanted to do something like this and you were looking for a certain color that I used, you could say, oh, she used these 5 colors. So, you know, I can do that. I liked that color that she used, and I would like to try and find that color, you know? Oh, and another thing about these, since we're on the topic of Neocolors, like, who cares if they look perfect, right? You know what that means? You're not using it right. You break one, that's fine. Just use it a different way. Because you can't do like this type of thing, right? You can't use it in all these different ways. If it's you can't use it in different fun ways if it's still in its little stick form, you know? So you break your Neocolor, you enjoy that broken Neocolor, you know? Because now you have, it's almost like a whole different tool because you can just use it in so many different ways when they're broken. I love it. I have tubs of little broken Neocolors. It's great. All right, let's do this lettering because we're gonna move on here. 3823. Gotta keep going. All right. All right, so I'm not gonna add any more colors to this. I'm gonna write the words out with my Neocolor. Another thing I like about these, and I didn't intend this to be a Neocolor. I did not necessarily intend this to be a Neocolor live, everybody, and I apologize if you saw brush lettering and then you come in here and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? But I will say, these work with everything. And these work with everything because they are waterproof, the ink. So I'm going to finish this sentiment over here, but I think I'm going to peel my Neocolor. So one cool thing is if you want to do like a really experimental lettering thing like this, hey Artwood City, hi. It's cool to try if you got words all over the place, one way you can sort of like connect your phrases is to use similar colors. So I'm going to use these two for hybrid Cordesi because that's the type of rose, right? And then this is a different, I'm saying something different here. Deep red, fragrant flowers. So this is like a whole different thought, you know, bubble. So I'm going to color this differently than I color this just to differentiate, you know, because if this was red and this was red and then this was blue and this was blue, then you're going to get confused when you're reading it because you want to keep things, you know, even if it's art and it's up to everybody's own perception of like whether they like it or not and what it, you know, says or whatever, you know, because I mean, you can do whatever you want, right? But it's nice to keep it, you know, contextually relevant to this subject matter because that is important, I think. And I strive to do that even though I do experimental expressive lettering, I still see the way I drew this. Okay, now I'm going off. See how I drew these? I'm going to go back into that later and like get a little wild with it. Okay, so let's do more lettering down here. And I'm going to go in with a, I am going to go in with my I'm going to go in with my brush pen as well towards the end. I'm just trying to scrub off some of this blue, and it leaves like a little bit of a blue cast, but that's fine. I can actually go in and dapple water later and make little like smudges of color, and it could be a really cool watercolor like effect after. So we just want to make sure I have you in camera. And fragrance. See, didn't even see that where I should have erased, right? And or before where I wanted to erase, but I didn't. Let's take the red one. And I'm going to write on vigorous. Now we're down here. Oh, on. Okay. Unconventional choice. I'm going in. Living dangerously. Vigorous plants. E E O R O U S. And you know what's fun to do? Here's something that's fun to do. You can add like a little something something to sort of separate your words if you're thinking, oh, they look like they might be, you know, to one word. You know, maybe my lettering looked accidentally like it was one word instead of two. No problem. Just put a little something in between there, a little decorative element, and you're good. Or there's other ways you can sort of differentiate. For instance, okay, let's just use this as a gigantic test. So you can, I'm not going to do this now because my ink is still wet, but you can do like this, just under like or on vigorous. And then you could do like a different color here. So that's another way that you could differentiate your, you can separate your words in a way visually to, you know, assist people who are reading it, you know, so that they don't think that it's, you know, so that it looks like two separate words if there's any question in your mind when you're doing a piece of artwork. There's things you can do like that. And I'm actually going to take this little pink and I'm going to just start adding up here to that, this wording, and doing some embellishments just to like tie in, just to tie it in. Like that. And I really like that. I really like this color. This is great. I wish, well, this one I think this is Chinese green, and they do sell these open stock, I believe, but some of them they don't. And like for instance, this, which we're not using this today, but it's like a fluorescent pink, and this is a Neocolor 1, so it's not water soluble, but they do not have that for sale, open stock, and I love it. It's just fantastic. It's a fantastic color. It's so useful. I used it the other day in my live on a flower, and it was so It's so pretty. It's such a great accent color, but it also is just, it just gives so much. It really gives a lot to your, if, you know, if you're using it judiciously. Like I could get in there now with it, and I'm not gonna do that because we're on a good, trajectory here. We're closing this up and it's great. I like where this is headed, and I think we have enough time. It's 46:51, so I got a little bit less than 15 minutes to finish up and to tie this all together. And I'm super excited because I think we're going to do it. So good. I'm not going to get into a little time crunch. I'm just going to lift a little bit so we can sort of, whoops, 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 whoops. Hold on. Hold on. We're getting there. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. Excellent. I'm going to turn you so you can be a little better here. All right. So now let's go in with our I gotta be careful not to go too bananas with this pen. I don't want to. Don't want to make anything too dark, if you know what I mean. Black is a tool, you know. It's powerful and it's graphic. And which color brand? Sudfa. This one, or let me know what you want to know and I'll tell you what color, whatever. Which one are you talking about right now? What I'm using now is Pentel. It's Pentel Portable Pocket Brush Pen. That is this, and it's got, oops. You said that you will add, yep, I will. I'll add it on in the description. But give me like, give me a little time. Give me like 24 hours because sometimes things take time to populate. Like, for instance, my live streams I've noticed, because I've been doing them every day, they don't often, they're usually, you can't like see the entire thing. It takes time for YouTube to process a live stream, is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. It takes time for the video to sort of, you know, get where it needs to go, I guess. All right, let's finish the lettering. Finish the lettering. So you see on the top, I'm trying to be careful to not pull down the colors with the black. I'm using the black as an accent to sort of attach the styles, you know, like attach the style with this, but I'm also not, I'm not doing the entire thing in just, you know, like I did down here. I'm not drawing the entire letters in black. I just didn't want to. And at the same time, because I used a certain style to draw these roses, I'm trying to also merge the styles of what I did here with what I'm doing here. So I did the little embellishments, which sort of echo up here, but I also want to add some sort of organic feeling lines to these letters to sort of connect stylistically, make them look like they're in the same universe, I like to say. So now I am fleshing out the lettering on the bottom and adding some black pigment ink with my Pentel portable pocket brush pen, not sponsored. Not sponsored. I'm working on a video, not a live, but like a video about the differences between the portable pocket brush pen by both Pentel products and the other one that I have, which is right over here, this one. So that will help you to differentiate what you're looking for in a brush pen and what you can expect. I want to keep it in your eyes for you. All right, guys, countdown. Can we do it? And I am a lefty, so my hand always gets in the way. So I apologize for that. Yeah, I'm constantly trying to, keep an eye on that. So I'm not covering up artwork with my hands. So now you see I'm sort of like working my way around the page as I'm finishing up the bottom. And that's, because I want everything to marry. I want everything to work together. I'm just going to go light down here. Not going to flowers. Oh. Oh. See, I work backwards sometimes because I'm a lefty. That's kind of how it started. Because, oh, thank you, Flux Symmetry, my buddy. My longtime buddy. Okay. So yeah, these are lefty problems, but that's okay. We make it work, right? So, and then down here, finishing the lettering. We're almost done. We're almost done. I hope I have time to do a little bit of just, oh, I do. Okay, 55:12. Guys, we got this. We got this. We got it. Okay, see now, look. Remember when I misspelled fragrant? Remember when I misspelled that letter? You can't even tell. You cannot even tell. I think I'm going to actually be a little lighter down here real quick. And so I want to do some more tying everything in together. And I want to make time for that. And I also want to do some word highlighting. So I want to do this. I like to go along the bottom. I want want to tie everything together. I think I need to emphasize the top words a little bit more, but I didn't want to use the black pen to do it because I didn't want to overuse the black pen. Oh, you know what I need to do though? Oh, I forgot. I got to put a little competing star down here because I have one star up there, which adds a little graphic, ties in the graphic black, ties in the graphic element of this, and I wanted to do another one down here, and maybe where else? Let me just do that. Do a couple. That's all right. I'm going to focus on the dark blue, this really pigmented, which I love this Neocolor. It's just so delightful. It's just so pigmented. Okay, let's see here. Tie things in. We got 3 minutes, guys. Oh no, wait. 57:36. We have 2.5 minutes. This is fun. It's fun to challenge myself by the clock like this. We're going off at 60 minutes. So I am just going to tie in a little bit of these depth inside our little rose, inside our little roses here. Just tie in a little bit of depth. And a little bit of that, pink. That, because the roses are the star of the show, right? Now I'm way looking at the clock a lot. But it's good. This is a good good practice for me to do that, to stay on the clock like that. Because the last thing I would want is for this live stream, for me to get kicked off this live stream by my internet, and then for the future of this replay, you couldn't see the end. That is devastating. We can't have that happen. All right, 1 minute. 1 minute left. Let's do this. Let's do this. What do we need? What do we need? I'm gonna do a little there. I like to sometimes do on the sides because it gives you like another sort of decorative element of the color, right? Kind of looks like a print, like an old printing press or something, but it also ties in the art. And then sometimes I like to do this with my Neocolors. I just take my finger and I just do like little plops, because you can get like fun little watercolor-like effects, and it looks a little messy and fun. And you can just do that. And then, oh my gosh, look, I made a beautiful watercolor. I made a beautiful watercolor, and I just dab my finger around. How awesome is that? And it brings out like the pretty colors and the mixes. And right now there's ink. So it's, oh my gosh, we're gone. You guys, we made it. Okay, I'm going to hang it up. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow, and let's do this again tomorrow. All right. Bye. Have a great day.